What up, guys? Sean Blue here. I just saw Ryan Leone on Soft White Underbelly, and that's funny because I did a video about Ryan, and I said that guys should watch Soft White Underbelly. There's a lot of people with drug problems there, and then Ryan ended up being on Soft White Underbelly, over a month later, and I just thought that was so funny. I'm like, what? That's what I said, and so I think that was like my idea for him to even go on that show. I wonder if who saw it. I wonder if the guy who does the soft white underbelly show, like I wonder if he saw my YouTube clip and he decided, hey, I should try to look up Ryan because of this. And I don't know how it worked, but I just think that's a weird coincidence, don't you? And very good interview. I didn't know all that about Ryan and stuff like that. That is pretty rough. And yeah, I do agree with Ryan about how how parents today. Well, Ryan's not that much older than me. He's like about like 3 or so years older than me. But I hate the fact that yeah, parents just want to throw like drugs on kids these days, you know. And when I say drugs, I'm not talking about like forcing kids to smoke weed or anything like that. I'm talking about making kids take pills because they're a little too hyper in the classroom and they're not paying attention when the teacher's doing math on the whiteboard. It's like just let kids be kids. Everyone's a little different. Some kids need to be worked on this thing and that thing a little bit more. But just let kids be kids. Don't try to throw drugs in them right away. Um, like he said, he had a hard time reading and writing, as did I when I was a kid. It took me a little longer than it did other kids. But the only difference is my mom didn't push medication on me. She did think about it, and I refused. By this point, I was like in high school. I was like a teenager, and she was saying that I needed to take medication, and I was saying no, and I wouldn't take it. And which is true. I wouldn't take medication at that point. It was too late. Like if like Ryan was only 5 years old, so of course he's just gonna take what his parents give him. He doesn't know better. But when I was like 16, 17 years old, it was too late. Like I refused to get into that type of stuff. Um, and yeah, and I did sometimes have a hard time paying attention in school, but you don't need to force medication on some kids and stuff like that. And like it said, like it kind of actually messed him up more because he started having a drug problem. Even when he was in high school, how he was saying he got kicked out of like three different high schools in 1 month, and that had to do with his substance abuse problems. Is not him not paying attention in class properly, or he didn't do his homework for the past 2 days. No, it's because yeah, he just had a drug problem, and yeah, it had to do with his medication when he was a child. And yeah, so many people have been talking about this for years. Don't be pushing all these wacky drugs and ideas into kids' heads, like with today, like pushing all these like weird things about like oh, so and so is playing like little Michael is playing with like a Barbie doll when he's like 5 years old. Oh, he must be trying to say that he's a girl trapped in a boy's body. Like, no, he's not. He's just a boy playing with a toy. It just happens to be a Barbie doll. That's it. He's not a little girl trapped in a boy's body, But you get wacky people that would see that and they would say like, oh. He prefers the color pink over the color blue. He must be like, no, it's just a color. Doesn't matter. There's no such thing as a boy color or a girl color. Even though we always say pink's girls and blue is for boys. Yeah, if you see a 5-year-old, 6-year-old boy that prefers to draw with the pink crayon than the blue crayon, it's not him trying to say like, oh, I'm a girl trapped in the boy's body. But you get wacky people these days that think that, and and same with like this medication stuff before that, like, oh, Michael's a little bit, or Ryan is a little bit more hyper than the other kids in class. Like that's fine if he was like that running around in during recess, but when we take him to class after, like in math class, he's still like kind of like very loud and telling jokes and kind of just like getting out of his seats and refuse to sit down right away when we tell him to, and he's trying to play tag with the other kids. It's like, yeah, okay, that is a hyper kid, and yeah, you do need to discipline that kid in a good way, but to throw medication on him or to hit the kid or any, like, that's absurd. And yeah, throwing medication on the kid, that's almost just as bad as hitting the kid. So, in a different type of way. So, people, because we need to really just calm down and kind of let kids be kids and don't jump to all these crazy conclusions like, oh, we gotta throw like medication on kids, or blah blah blah. It's like everyone just take it easy and let 5-year-olds be 5-year-olds, and let 10-year-olds be 10-year-olds, and let 15-year-olds be 15-year-olds. But yeah, a 5-year-old being goofy in school and like running around and being silly. Yeah, he's 5 years old. He's only been alive for 5 years. So stop pushing medication, all these crazy ideas on kids. Let kids just be kids.